much, friends and community members. This is Will from the Pelish Miner. Guess what? I've got something to review. Yes, I finally bought something because unlike a lot of people, I don't get things for free. So I'll be cutting this open and going from there. Well, as you can see, it did make it all the way from Hong Kong, China. It is the Ipollo V2X. And they look like the previous versions from before. The ones that had the little, what do you want to call them there? They had the Raspberry Pis on them. Give me a second, I'll be back. We'll get this out of the bag. This is really simple. They did give you, or rather my son took it. So, as my son yells in the background, no sweat, I get it. But they did give us the, cheapy power supply. But you can do this basically with our little server power supplies, which is something I wondered about. It did take about 4 or 5 days coming out of Hong Kong, and I ended up paying $48.31 as a tariff. I'm not going to complain too much, but you can see here, this is max tag size 5.8, right? 15 max, 12 volt, right? This will do 1.2 gigahash or for a hash rate, or 1200 mega hash, depending on how you want to do it. It's kind of like an oversized GPU. It almost fits into this Dell over here. So yeah, we're gonna get this up and running here in a little while and give it a review. So guys, as you can see right here, if I zoom it in a little bit, the hash rate right now, I do believe that's the hash rate. It's 1.33, and the temperature's at 56 degrees Celsius with the fan spinning at less than 2,000 revolutions per second. Of course, the time is adjusted. We're going to go back over to the main screen again. These are a lot louder. Just saying, I can't hear this at all. I cannot. That's the difference so far. Anyway, so miners, I gotta get this bad boy hooked up. Like I said, I've got obviously the chain critical cables here. I'm gonna set that in there. I have the other one here that was this, like 300 mega hash or 280 of these older ones. That's the 400. I'm gonna take this one offline for a little while until I find more of a permanent home for it. So let me get this hooked up, get it going here, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like once it's set. So as you guys can see, it's starting up here, doing its little thing, and I've never actually had one of these, so it's going to be quite interesting and entertaining for me once it gets going. All right, green light's moving, and it's got to find everything it needs to find, I guess. They're only making about $1 a day, roughly, so it's not like a big, huge push, but for what I'm using it for, it'll work out great. They, as you can see on the screen here, they have an initialization clock. It looks like, well, that's got an actual time on it, 1542, and it's kicked up. There's no fans kicked in here as of yet, none of that stuff. That's 5. Let's see. I'm guessing this is the way it's going to go. So let me see if I can hit the IP report button here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's a reset right next to it if I wanted it, but I'm going to do that and get the report button and see if we can find it. So now it's set up right because this is my time. So it found the time off my network, and we're going to see where this lands. Well, anyways, we've gotten this far. After hitting that power, sorry, the IP report button, it's got a slightly different situation set up here. Cloud Network Technologies, Singapore PTE Ltd. I'm wondering if that's a different chipset, because this one that is up here right now and is running is showing, Chengdu, I can't say whatever that is, and for Chinese names, I'm not going to look it up. Respect for people in general, and history, Technology Co. Ltd. So, your typical standard login, right, with this, and I think it was root. Let's give it a shot. It is root. That's your standard login. You want to change that after a bit. And it has your basic miner configuration here. Okay, ETC hash ZIL, right? And it's only been running for about 6 minutes. However, what I do, since I have the other one over here, and that is a 147 on here, I will grab this. So I repeat, I don't. Yep. Keep things the same here. So this is just getting powered up, getting moving. Let me see. This is exactly what I want. I'm not going to go through all the steps with Unminable and how to set that up. I will do that for something else. I'm going to take out all this because there's no point in me keeping it at all. Okay. This will be for when is I'm going to be over to Unminable here in about 2 seconds. We'll do that right now. Right? And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. What I've been doing is I've been mining when. And I'm going to show you why I'm mining when and where it's going. And that's the trick. That is the straight up trick where it's been going. So with this, since I haven't set everything up yet, I have to go to, what is it, 2X or whatever it is. 2X, because that is the new one, and I will use the RPM little thing. I've got one myself, I just don't care. And we're going to go from there. And this has several different modes: energy mode, hash rate mode, right? This cannot be enabled. Maximum amount of chips, none of that. I'm straight up priority mode, energy mode. I am not going to be using energy mode. I'm going to be ripping through this. I'm going to hit save and apply. It's the same standard as all the other Ipollos, as Rapid Mining has said in his video. We're going to see where things are here. The stratum is not showing up yet. It was showing that, where this was and that was, and all the good stuff there. What I want to do is I'm going to put pool 1, right? Pool 2, and we'll just back it up going this way, just in case. No. See, this pool 1 stuff does not make any sense to me anyway. So I'm going to save and apply. And if there's something wrong, we'll find it. It's not a huge big deal, guys. It's really just not. So yeah, you guys can hear me a little bit better now, hopefully. The microphone I got here picks up great. So we'll hit the restart button and we will be right back. Perform a reboot. Okay, well, so obviously I've rebooted and you guys just saw it. Do you believe that's what the hash rate was on this? So we're going to type it back in here and go and see what we got. This says it's at 44 degrees Celsius. All 3 fans are running at about this rate. There are 46 accepted shares. Right there on that bad boy right there. So let's take a look and see where we're at here on old Unminable. Workers. So I should have 3 of these bad boys running. Here's the 2X just getting kicked up. So we're going to give this thing probably about 20 minutes. And we should have a lot going on pretty quick here. You can see 2X has just come online here. No sweat. It literally I've never seen this on Unminable before. Oh, it's just to kick over the next one. That's cool. But yeah, this is... And it hasn't shown... Look, it's showing where the hash rate is, and the diagram is slightly different compared to the other one. This is the V1SE Plus, which is the one that... Actually, it's supposed to be 400 mega hash, comparatively speaking. And the revolutions on this are way, way, way higher. As a matter of fact, fan configuration this could probably go down here. It's supposed to be at 50%, and I can hear it all day, all the way into my living room. It's a bit ridiculous. But you know, that bangs away pretty well too. That's got one stale share. Compare to apples to oranges, this is where it's at. You can see the hash rate is fluctuated there. And you can see now we're kicking in high gear at 1.27 gigahash, which is almost 1.3, and 46 degrees Celsius. And these fans are so quiet, so ridiculously quiet. Let's see here. Can we? No, there is nothing. System, right? Here you go. Notes, Ipollo, host name, time zone. This is where I have to go in here. Don't forget to change this. Eastern, I'm not in Europe, so it still says that, you know, they're like 12 hours ahead of me. Pacific, let's find it. I am not in Europe. Okay. Let me see if I can find something comparable where we're at. America, Barbados. How about Detroit, Chicago? That's close. So I'd have to find New York. Detroit, there we go. I'll save my time and apply. A couple seconds, no sweat. And then, of course, the clock should reflect the appropriate time right now for where we're at. Time synchronization, right? You can use any one of these pools. Display, second state, brightness. It does all that stuff. You can do it in black, right? But yeah, if you flip through here, system reboot, diagnostics, firmware upgrade, right? The fans there is nowhere in here that I can see that you can change the fans at all. I can change the protocol as static if I want to change it to static. I will leave it DHCP because, to be honest with you, when things go out of power around here, it becomes a little ridiculous. So we have, right, 1.3 gigahash per second. That's your hash rate moving along. And let's go back over here and see what we got here real quick. See what's this looking like. It still says 81. I also have some Ipollos over here running right now. Just saying. But yeah, give me a few minutes. We'll look back here in about 20 minutes and see where things are at. Compare apples to oranges here and see how this is working out. Well, okay, so after several minutes of running this, it says it's about 49 minutes since I've started it up and rebooted it and done everything. We're literally running and recording this on the miner, 1.33 mega hash or gigahash, or about 1300 mega hash, okay, to be exact. It has taken in 408 shares, no doubt in my mind. I have not seen anything as far as excuse me, stale shares, and it runs pretty cool for the new V2X. Now, when you look at the older versions, such as this V1 Mini SE, which sucks a lot of juice, you can see the 10-minute difference from when I fired this up and that. This one is a lot louder. It runs in a variable right there, as far as that's concerned. You literally have to go through to information overview, and you can see that that's had 4 stale shares. When I go to unminable, okay, and we've given this like 20 minutes to, you know, get up relatively more, and I suspect that it'll come up some more. I will hit the refresh one time though, just because. Okay, heavy hash one's up there.
876. When I hit the live, it tells you that, this is how much we have running on the ETC hash, and this is how much, terahash we got under there. Significantly, the received shares and the payouts, because of the new miner, are much bigger than before. As you can see, this is the smaller ones from the ice rivers. It has definitely jumped up. No questions asked about that. So it's a positive. Now, overall, what I'm going to say about ordering from Crypto Miner Bros is that they did all they could. And I learned today, and probably a couple weeks ago, but I suffer from can't remember shit, that the $800 exemption for imports is gone, especially coming out of China, okay? Which is kind of sad to see, because no one likes to pay extra taxes. So, although this is not a political video, I am blaming Trump for my $48.31 that I had to pay in import taxes, which is absolutely bullshit. No one likes to pay a little extra for something like this, but, ultimately the price wasn't horribly bad. I can't really complain too much. Thank God that Red Panda was able to get me Red Panda Mining, folks, was able to get me a little bit of a discount. As far as that's concerned, $70. So realistically, after you pay the import taxes, it was literally, and I mean literally, he's always saving me about $21 overall, which I'll take it. $21 is $21. You can go get yourself a meal at McDonald's or Wendy's or something if you want to look at it that way. Would I buy another one of these? At this current point in time, I probably would buy another one of these miners. In all seriousness, I probably would. But again, finding the money is where the problem comes overall. But I absolutely think Andy and those guys over there at Crypto Miner Bros did a wonderful job of getting this to me. They took care of me to the best of their ability. And I find that this miner is just, pretty much top notch as far as that's concerned. And, it's good stuff. This is what I've been looking for as far as doing what I need to do. Now, if you give me a second, I'll talk to you why I'm mining when, or mining Ethereum Classic and converting it to when on Unminable. So overall, what I'm doing here with this is, and I have my wallet connected, my Soulflare wallet actually. So as you can see, we have some WEN and some Cats of Crypto here on Meteora. All right. Currently, it's not processing a ton of transactions, but as you can see, it has earned a little bit of progress here as far as that's concerned. When I go over and look at Cats of Crypto, you can see that, go down, wrapped ETH. It's got about $1 worth, roughly, that shows up there. WEN has been very good for Cats of Crypto as far as processing any kind of extra transactions, because arbitration across the chain legitimately creates volume. But you have to watch what you're doing with that as far as that's concerned. So what happens is when you get these exotic pairs like this, let me do this real quick. I'll show you what I mean. It will spill into your chart, because the way that Solana goes up and then down, right, with volume, that's where you're at. So right now the volume here is kind of low on WEN, okay? It's only 323K. Normally you can see up to $5 or even $10 million worth of volume on good days with Solana, which then, as WEN goes up, so does your chart, and so does your crypto project if you have one. This is not a joke. And of course, the market cap is kind of important too, because you don't want it so far off that you could get eaten up if there was a big, huge crash within that project. So you have to find blue chips within, proof of stake type things there. And so, since Catch Crypto is a cat, right, and Wen is a cat, it only makes sense to put these together. And currently, as you can see, there are 30 different pools across here with several different trades. And you can think you could squeeze a pop cat in there as well. There's a whole trading strategy built behind this so that the project can make money as well as the person making the investment. So it just depends how you want to do that. That is the point and purpose of doing this. So if you head on over to, here, let me grab the CA, which is up top here if you want to do it that way, off of Bird Eye, go all the way down to the F right there, and say you wanted to go and find the pools that are Catch Crypto pools, and you're into Catch Crypto or any other one for that matter, you can just literally search them out just like this, and you can find the pools here, which are the new V2 pools. You can find the pools here, right? And every pool that comes up for Catch Crypto or anyone else for that matter will be here, and it is nothing but positive, full fun goodness that will allow you to do what needs to be done. So that's kind of why we're doing that. It's to help out the project overall, and and make better donations as far as that's concerned. But that's regarding Catch Crypto. The miner is just me using the miner to the best of my ability to get the best results. And I have not, like I said, as of most recent, found anything that has really piqued my interest. See, we've gone a few more minutes and we're over a gig reporting at the pool now. Really piqued my interest enough to make me want to go out and buy something. The biggest problem that we're going to have right now is that there's just not a lot of good stuff out there for miners, especially for the home miners. And when you find something now, you have to pay the tariffs inside the U.S. And if it travels through the U.S., like Red Panda Mining had to pay tariffs on, or duty taxes, same shit, different day, technically, on some stuff. And he lived in Canada, because it traveled through the U.S., there was a charge. So it's kind of not productive. It's counterproductive. It almost makes GPUs look better in a lot of ways. But unfortunately, shitcoin mining, spec mining, if you will, is part of the issue because the GPUs aren't doing so great. And you have to rely on some of the older miners that may be around because you can get those up off of the eBay, and you might only pay sales tax in most cases, but you're not paying the duty tax going across there. And it's a real pain. I'm just being honest with you. So as you can see right now, 1.79 giga hash on ETC hash, and in the past 5 minutes we've gotten some really good chugging along payouts right there. Give you a little bit of time and the block number, it's looking beautiful. So I'm not going to complain. There's no reason to. I think that, like I said, those guys, Andy and those guys at Crypto Miner Rose, did a good job. Do I think it's a little overpriced for what Ipollo has put out? Yes. What I do like, though, is my favorite thing in the whole wide world, that that's not the right one, that the wattage on this thing is not as bad as this bad boy. So it's making you a little bit better money. But what we need to see is Ethereum Classic to go up more so that we can get more bang for our buck. Just saying. Anyways, I'm Will. This has been the Pelish Miner, and I want to thank you for stopping out. I know I don't do a lot of videos, but I do support the community the best I can overall, and I don't support just the mining community. I support all communities. So if you get a chance and you really are interested, come on over, check out Catch Crypto. and check out, you know, a lot of different cool projects out there. Not just mining projects that you know can throw an ASIC on or some GPUs. Look around. There's a lot of good positive things going out there, and they're not all just meme coins, absolute trash. You know, based off a PvP or a logo. So that's what I've got to say. All right. Other than that, you guys, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and we'll be seeing you on the next one, whenever that might be.